Hi everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. And for today's tutorial I was playing around with some memory wire and some new Rounduos that you get from the Potomac Bead Company, and that's the only place you can get these. And you really need to check these Rounduos out because they're so much fun. And they're getting in so many new colors and a lot of new beads actually, so I'm quite excited to go shopping on there soon. So anyways, with these Rounduos, they're pretty reasonable, their prices. And what I really like the most now with that website is now they take PayPal, and they also have really cheap shipping. So to Canada and the United States, I believe is $2.99. So you can buy as much as you want. I think that's just a flat rate. And also if you live overseas in a different country, it says they ship all over the world, and I believe it's like $9.99, so $10 shipping to go overseas is super duper cheap, and you can't get any better than that. So it's worth it to go check the site out. The link for it is right below this description box here where it says show more. Click on that and there's a link to their website. To get the Rounduos if you don't have these already. And the ones that do have these, I know you're in love with them like I am. And I absolutely love this new bracelet that I just made. So I put some chain on it because it's memory wire, and memory wire has a tendency that if it's on you and you don't have any kind of closure on this end, it's easy to pull it off your wrist. So this way the chain is going to secure this on your wrist. So when we make this, doesn't matter really how big you make this. Just make sure you make it big enough that it can go over your entire hand and you can wear it like so. Okay, and I've got a little bit of chain hanging here, which I absolutely kind of like that. It looks really formal. But see, when this is yanked on my hand, it's not going to pull off. And I found through many bracelets I've made with memory wire with not putting anything on the closure, the bracelets just get pulled right off. So this is what I'm going to teach you how to make today. It's an easy pattern, but it's tedious. You have to have a lot of patience. So if you're going to get mad and throw your beads, then this isn't a bracelet you want to make, because it can be a little bit intimidating at first, but once you get the pattern going, oh my god, it's just so easy. Okay, and I actually seen something similar to this on Pinterest as I was posting this, and I thought, wow, but only they used Rounduos. So wow, you know, designers have great minds, and because of the Rounduos, I played with it several times in with the memory wire, and this is what I came up with. So I really like this, and I think you're going to like it too. So for this, you're going to need some memory wire. And for those of you that keep asking me what diameter, what size this memory wire is, I don't know. It's 2 to 1/4 inch diameter. Okay, so that's what this is. 2 1/4 inch. Okay, that's all I can tell you, and you can buy this from Beadsmith. I think I got this from Beadaholic, so it's really, really nice wire. So we are going to need, 6 lengths, the same, because this takes 6 strands of memory wire. I mean, it's overall not a huge bracelet. It may seem like it is because you're using 6 strands, but it's really not that big. Compared to my thumbnail, it's about the thickness of my thumbnail, so it's really not that big. And it is really, really pretty. Now in here I used 11O seed beads, but you can use whatever you want. If you want to put little tiny crystals in there, then by all means do that. But the only thing I don't like about, you'd have to use really small crystals, or that's going to start rubbing on your wrist. And I'm getting into where I'm saying like bicones. Be careful using bicones, because if you don't want this to irritate your wrist, then yeah, be careful what kind of beads you use in here. You're welcome to use whatever you want. Don't gotta use what I use. I am going to make it in jet black this time, and in white Vega luster. I really like this color. It's kind of like purpley with a gold sheen on it. On silver memory wire. Gonna go great. You're going to need 2 pieces of chain, so you're going to need to cut this chain. What I did was I put this on my wrist. This is how I measured. I put the bracelet on my wrist on the largest part where it's going to go. And I just took a piece of chain, measured it from here to here, and that's how I added my chain. So that's how you're going to do it too. So depending on how big you cut your memory wire, it's going to depend on that. You're going to need 2 eye pins, and these are 1.5 inch eye pins. You're going to need 4 4mm jump rings, so I'm just using 4. And you're going to need 10 8mm seed beads. And these are going to go in between here in your rows. And that's going to separate them. So it's going to keep it kind of nice and straight. And I'm using 11/0 seed beads. And this is just a plain Toho seed bead. You will need pliers, you'll need cutters, you will need pliers, and you will need round nose pliers. And you're also going to need memory wire cutters. Now, especially for new beginning people, you don't have memory wire cutters, these things here that are specifically made just to cut this stuff. Don't ever use your brand new good cutters like this, because you will dent them in here and you will totally destroy them. So for you new beginners, do not use these to cut memory wire. Get yourself a pair of memory wire cutters, or if you have an old pair of these kicking around, even your husband may have heavy duty ones that are about this big and this bulky. I have all kinds of cutters. Old pair, by all means go ahead and cut it if you don't care about destroying those. But these are specifically made to cut this memory wire. So I just want to tell those beginner people, don't use your good cutters. Like, I just got this set. I wouldn't dare use this on my memory wire. So let's get opening this memory wire and get cutting it. And I'm going to show you. I know I told you it is going to be a tiny wee bit of a pain to get started. I'm being honest. Please have patience to continue to do this, because it'll be worth it. And one of my beads just took off. Okay, so we've got that really pretty pinky color, purpley color. And then we're going to use just some jet black, because I think those 2 colors contrast together. They're married together very nicely. Now, we've got a coil of wire. And this is how you buy memory wire. It comes in coils, like this. And this one happens to be a brand new package, and it has 2 pieces in it. So, very good. All right, let me just get it out of here. Probably only need 1. So whatever size we cut for 1, you want to continue to cut 6 exactly that size. All right. So I'm going to just take this, and I'm going to let it overlap about that much, which is maybe 1/2 inch overlapping where it joins. All right, let me just get moved up here so you guys can see what I'm doing. See where your memory wire overlaps. I'm going to take my memory wire cutters, and I'm going to cut it about 1/2 inch bigger in the circle, like this. So there's 1. Now I want to cut the remaining ones exactly this big. So I'm just going to do it like this. I'm going to hold it here, pinch it there like this, travel all the way around so I can get it all the same size, and snip. Oops, that didn't cut. There we go. So there's 2. And again, we need to cut 6. It's just better to work with even lengths, and you will see why. Okay. There's 3. Okay. Dear, dear. And now we have one little piece left where I can make a fourth one. So it's going to be exactly perfect. Round. And we need to cut it right about there. Okay, so I have this little piece left, which I am going to bend these in and throw in my garbage without anyone getting poked. There we go. All right, there's 4, and we need to cut 2 more. So give me one here. You can even pull this stuff out like this. It does not stretch. It goes right back into shape. There's 5. And if they're not even, we'll straighten those up when we get to that point there that we need to. And there's 6. All right, we're good for now. All right, okay. So let me get some beads out of my way here so I can have space to work, because you don't really need all these in your face like that. So I've kind of stretched these out, as you can see. I like them to be a little stretched. So kind of line them all up and give them a little stretch. Open like this. They're easier to work with. Okay. Now you're going to take your round nose pliers, and I'm going to use stronger ones because memory wire is very, very strong. Take the very tip of your pliers, your round nose pliers, just the very tip. You don't want a big, huge hole here, and you can start folding it around. And I'm telling you right now, use your muscles. You better have eat your Wheaties for breakfast. There we go. So you have a loop like that, okay? Like that. And you're going to do that on one end of all 6 of your pieces of memory wire. So try to make them all the same size, the very tip, like this. And I just hold it on my thumb like this and turn against my thumb and make it nice and flush against the memory wire. Okay, so the very tip, pinch hard and turn. Oops, that hole's going to be big if I move it. And oops. Ugh, your thumb will be sore after. I'm telling you, this stuff is super strong. If you've never worked with memory wire, then you're going to find out how strong it looks like a flimsy piece of wire, but when it comes to bending and turning it, it's pretty tough stuff. Pretty strong. And it can withstand a lot of abuse. That's what I like about it. I can abuse it. I don't even wear bracelets much. I don't wear much jewelry. I make it, but I don't wear it. You can see this one's not closed because I'm losing the strength in my hand. That is how strong it is. Wow, this one doesn't want to close. A little bit more. There we go. And there's that one. Half-assed closed. 2 more. That's all I can say. It's well worth it, guys. Well worth it. That's why you need strong round nose pliers. There we go. Whew. I still have one more. Look at, my thumb is already hurting. I'm whining. One more. For good measure. Wow, the first couple went easy. Okay, finally. All right, so first things first, you're going to grab an eye pin. You're going to take one end of your loopy loop dupes, okay, one end like this, put it on and stick an 8/0 in between. So I'm going to pick up an 8/0. All right, now I'm going to pick up another wire and make sure they're all going the same way. So I have the side down, so put another wire on and another 8/0. Okay, another wire. And an 8/0. Like that. Another wire. 8/0. Another wire. An 8/0. So there's 5 8/0s you've used. Okay. And now your final wire on like this. Now, you want to keep them nice and firm up against your get these out of my face. Nice and snug up there, okay? And you're going to cut this off at about, I'd say, 1/4 of an inch is all you really need here. And you're going to trim that off. Okay. Whoa, don't you fall out. Now just take your round nose pliers, the very tip of them, and just turn this under. Like this. Okay. So now you've secured your loops with the eye pin. And if it seems a bit crooked to you, you can always fix it up. I know I'm tedious like this, where if my loops don't have that neck thing in them, I hate it. So I always fix it. Okay. And turning it under more. There we go. Now if you don't like how the loops aren't even Steven, hold one, take your pliers and turn them so they're both facing the same way like that. See how easy? All right, now comes the fun part. So we'll be working from this end here. As you can see, I'm still fidgeting with this because it drives me crazy. There we go. I feel better now. All right. Now we don't need our pliers for a while. All right. So line all your memory wire up as nice as possible. Don't have them overlapping or crossing, because I'm telling you right now, if you do that, you're going to mess your whole bracelet up. So try not to do that. Once you get some beads on here, I'm telling you, I promise you, it's going to get a little less tedious, a little easier. Okay, so I'm just slowly walking my fingers down to the end here, to my uneven ends, which I thought were even. Anyway, first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your first 2. So make sure they are not crossed. And then you're going to pick whatever color. So I'm going to start with a black. I'm going to put, you got to put both of them on together, because, see, I told you this is very tedious, because when you get to putting beads on here, you're not going to be able to do it any other way. So slide your memory wire, one in each hole of your round duo like that. Okay, let that one fall down. Take your next 2 middle wires and make sure they are not crossed. So it's very important that your wires don't cross. And now you're going to add your second color in here. So one there. I'm just putting them in the holes of the round duos like this, and let that one fall. Now you're going to take your last 2 wires, making sure they're not crossed, and those are crossed. It's very, very important you don't cross them. There we go. We're straight. All right, and now we're going to put a black one on this end. Okay, so we have 1 dark, 1 pink, and 1 dark, and slip that on. All right, now just push these down, keep pushing, and that's what you should have so far. All right, like that. And like I said, this is a pain in the ass for the first few beads you get on, because you're going to have to keep pushing it down. But it'll be fine. So take one of your outsides, doesn't matter if this side or this side. I like putting my beads on from left to right. Okay, starting from left to right. So right now I'm picking up seed beads. So you're going to pick up 7 seed beads on the outside memory wire. And they pick up quite easily with the memory wire. Okay, carefully push those down. The next one beside the one you just put your beads on, pick up 2 and let them fall. And the next one, pick up 2. The next one, making sure they're not crossed, pick up 2. The next one, which is your second last one, it's your 5th one, pick up 2. All right, and on your last one, pick up 7. Okay, there. So this is what we have so far. And I feel these are crossed, and they are. All right. Get into the habit of straightening your work out and checking it every now and again, making sure it's not wrecked or crossed. Okay, so this is what you have so far. You got 7 beads on the outside of each of those, 2 in the middle, 4. Now these 2 beads here, or these 2 rows here, we're going to put, so don't count your outside rows. Your outside rows are not going to be used for attaching this bracelet. So leave your outside rows out of this. This next row, you're going to add a round duo to this one and a round duo to that one. But you can see we're going on a diagonal, how I went on this bracelet, but you can do whatever you want. So you know that the bead going up in here has to be a black one, and this one has to be a pink one, because you're going on a diagonal. So let me get these 2 wires here and make sure my wires are not crossed. This is going to help secure your bracelet a lot better. A little easier to work with. So get your first 2 and your middle 2, and the end ones you can just kind of push them aside. I'm telling you right now, this is a pain in the butt at first, but it's going to get better. Okay, so on here we need a black one, so I'm just going to find the holes like that and scoop a black one on and just slide it down. Now I'm going to grab my other 2, whoops, making sure they're not crossed, which they are. I want this one and this one. Okay, and we're going to add a pink one in there, purpley pink. And they got to kind of be close together so you can get into both holes at once without breaking your bead. All right, and then push these down. So now what you've done is this. Okay, but we're still not even with the 2 outside rows. So the 4 middle rows, you're going to take each one and pick up 2 seed beads on each one, and that will finish off your pattern. So pick up 2, and this one wants to be a pain in my ass. There we go. Pick up 2. Whoa. And 2 more. Alright. Now we should have even Steven here. See this? Perfect. So if you're making this and you don't know, or I don't know what seed beads you're going to be using, just remember when you get to this row where you're putting your 2 middle beads on here, when you're putting these 2 on, make sure all your beads line up for your next row. Because if they don't line up, then you're going to throw your pattern off. If you're doing this pattern diagonal. If not, you're free to do whatever you want. So now we need to take all the strands and add, and I'm just going to walk my hands, my fingers, making sure that they're not twisted in any way, like this. And I'm just going to walk my fingers to the end and add 3 beads. So at this beginning one we started with black. Now we're going to start with a pink one. So we're alternating the colors. So on the first 2 you're going to put a pink, or whatever color you're using. The next 2 I'm going to put a black. It's really hard to see the holes in these black ones. Like that. And this one, making sure it's not twisted, I am going to put a pink. Like this. Maybe. See how tedious this is? But it'll get better. And there we go. Alright. So push them down and have a look. Make sure everything's lined up nicely. Like that. Alright, and now I'm going to show you this entire pattern one more time, and then I'm going to go off camera and just continue this. It's pretty straightforward and easy to do. And that way you can't see me get mad and cuss. So take the outside one, your first outside one, and pick up 7. There's always 7 between each bead on the 2 outside ones. The inside ones is where you're putting in your pattern, so you're just going to pick up 2. And this is how I find it the easiest way to do. Just hold them in my hands, pick them up, pick up the beads, okay, and pick up 2. And now I'm to my last outside one here. So I'm going to pick up 7. I don't like the shape of that one. Alright, well that one fell off. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 7. Alright, now we have this. Okay, we need to put our 2 beads in here. As you can see, here's the pink one. So the one on the diagonal is going to be pink first, and then a black one. So I like to just walk my fingers up carefully like this and stick a pink one on. Like that, okay? And then do the same on the other. Pick up the two right ones, make sure they're not twisted, and put a black one on. If I could find the other hole, that would be great. There it is. I had it the wrong way. Okay. Alright. Now, the two outer ones are finished. We need to put the two beads on the inner four rings. So let's take each one and pick up two beads on each one, and that will finish out your pattern. Like I said, it's going to get a little easier, and then getting close to the end is going to get a little difficult. You might want to get some Scotch tape. I've got tape handy here, and tape the ends while you're working because you don't want your stuff to fall off. And I found that to be a little bit easier. Okay, and my last two. Alright, so now we are finished with that pattern, our row. So I'm going to do one more row, and you're going to see that the black one will be complete. The row of black. Pretty. Okay, so walk your fingers up. Making sure nothing's twisted. And there we go. Now, to separate these two. So last time we put a pink, now we're going to start with a black. And then we got our two middle ones. Making sure they're not twisted. And they're not. It's always good to double check. Okay. Pink. And now our last two. And there. All right. Bring her down. And if you find it's getting stuck, just bring down a few beads at a time. Don't try to push them all down. You may snap your beads. See? There you go. It's nice and snuggy. And look. Right? And that's all there is to this pattern. Super, super easy. And super pretty. I love how this goes. So you can see the row is complete. And the next one you're going to be working on will be pink. And then you're starting black. You're just rotating it to make your diagonal lines. This one's only got one, this has got three, and this one's got five. And then it starts all over again. So I'm going to go offline. Do as far as you can do, except leaving at least 1/4 of an inch. Now if it's getting really hard to work with these, take 3 of them and put some Scotch tape on the end like this, because the Scotch tape comes off really easily. So put some Scotch tape on there and just tape it up so your beads don't fall off while you're working with this, because it's going to get a little more difficult as we get closer to the end. Okay, but you have to work with your bracelet and complete your pattern as you go. And then when you get to this area, like, you can't just do this section and then do this section. You can't. I tried it and it doesn't work. Okay, because you can't add all your beads that you need to for the pattern. I tried it. It just doesn't work. Alright, so now you're just going to pull this off and finish off what you're doing. So keep some Scotch tape on hand. And I'll come back when I get closer to where I'm frustrated. So you're going to have an easy break right now working, because it's got a lot of room here. But when it gets closer here, you're going to start being frustrated again like it was just getting started. But it is super easy and super pretty. So I'll see you back here. Okay guys, so I'm at the end here where it's getting really difficult to put the beads on by just picking them up. So all I'm using is my my needle nose pliers, and I'm just picking up one bead at a time and adding them on like this. because if you bend this down and continue to pick up your beads, you're going to keep dropping them. So, and you're going to probably lose a few seed beads too in the process. So this is all I'm doing. So I can get a little closer to the edge, like this. Adding 2 beads. And that one just fell right off. 1. It's a little more time consuming, but it's a heck of a lot easier, I promise you, to do it this way. 1 and 2. So we are very close to the end of this bracelet, and I need to put one more row on because I really don't want to waste all this memory wire. So all we're going to put on here now is a last row like this to match up with that. So I'm going to take a pink one, place it on here, because this will be my last beads on here, holding this very carefully that it doesn't fall out of my hands and I lose beads everywhere, because I've already done that. And that one, and there you go. So now you basically want to pull all your beads, make sure they're all secured in a row so you don't have any holes. Everything's pulled nice and tight. So this is where we begin to trim off our memory wire, and about 1/4 inch is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to face it down this way so this doesn't, my piece of wire doesn't fly all over the place. And then I'm going to take my needle nose pliers, round nose pliers, and I'm going to begin twisting these, bending it right down like so. And careful you don't bust your crystal. Ooh, these are so tough. This memory wire. You might even want to put tape on this so you don't lose it while you're trying to put these on. There we go. There. And we'll give this a little tiny squish because I just can't squish it anymore. Alright, so now we're going to work on the second one. Take your pliers, make sure you pull that one nice and tight. These ones tend to want to fall here. Pull it nice and tight. Cut with your thing, your memory wires, 1/4 inch away. Hold it down in your mat, because if you let go of your work, you're going to have a disaster. And, oh, look it, I broke the bead. Shoot. Damn, I didn't break any beads on the other one. Okay. I have literally busted this bead off. Okay, so you get the gist of that. I'm going to have to pull this up somehow and get a new bead on there because that one's totally busted right off. So let me see if I can do this. Straighten out this wire enough that I can get a new bead on there. Not too promising. It's very easy to bust the beads, but I might be pulling it a little too close. Alright, we got it off. Now to get it on. And this has to be good and flat. So maybe I'm just pulling too close. Let's see if this will work. Yeah, memory wire's not. Shoot. Well, shit happens. We do break beads. I don't know about you guys, but I've broken a lot of beads in my lifetime. Alright, these are not flattened enough, so let's work on getting these flattened. Might be good now. No, this still has a kink right there. Yeah, let's try now. Okay, that one went on. Please let this one go on. And it is. Alright. Dedication. Oh dear. There we go. Alright. Let's try this again. And that will be because this one here I trimmed off. As you can see what happened here. Trimmed that one off too low. So I'm going to try and do this with the very, very tip of my pliers. Very, very tip. And just squish it. Oh my god, I broke this bead too. Oh, wow. Wow, I'm not sure why they're breaking because they didn't do it on the other one. Really don't know what's going on here, but anyway. I think maybe I should just rest my finger on there, like that. Give it a squish. Alright, and I've dropped all my beads off here. Let me see what I can do here. Without busting the bead, I'm going to push my nail on the wire. Wow. I never had this much problem, but nobody said memory wire was easy. Alright, I'm going to try from this angle because I don't want to break this bead anymore. And I don't want to replace it. There. That was nasty. This is one of those moments when you want to take something and throw it across the room. Wow. There, finally. All right. Now, pull all these down. I have lost my beads off this one, so I'll just put this black one on. 2, 4, 6, 7. And I'm just going to trim this one off because I really don't want to go through this again. All right. So, there we go. That one. All right. Oh boy. Not quite even, Steven here, but I'm scared of breaking my bead, so. And last but not least, the pink. Wow, I can't believe how shitty this turned out. It's because I'm videoing it, that's why. Alright, time to trim these a wee bit. That's way too long. Whoa. There we go. All right, that's really crappy. Sorry guys, but I'm really not going to redo this bracelet. You guys get the gist of what I'm doing here. Whatever you do, don't put any pressure on that bead. Put all the pressure on your pliers and push your finger into the wire there so you don't bust your bead. All right, it's not going to work. Now, these are very uneven, and they're not supposed to be. My other ones didn't turn out like this, but anyway. Leave a little bit of a room in here so your beads don't keep busting like mine are. Because that just looks like hell. Anyway. Alright. Now the fun part. And this is where I had the most trouble. I'd never had any trouble on this end piece here. I've never broken beads like that. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Just too rough. So don't be rough. And you guys will get it. Okay, I just want to get rid of all these pieces of broken glass before they end up on me. Alright, so now we're going to do this part with the head pin, another difficult task. So you're going to have to stick your head pin in there and grab your 8/0s and ever so lightly put your head pin, your 8/0 on your head pin, push it between and pull up your, see how I've just barely got it sticking out there? This is really hard to get in here too. Okay, and you got to kind of weasel it in and get it into the next eye pin. Get your 8/0 in there. Get it around and scoop it ever so gently like this. The next 8/0. Kind of lift it over into the groove there. Pull your needle out or your eye pin out and put your last one on. Okay. Oopsies. Okay. Get in there. Now, last one. And as you can see, you know, it lined up not too shabby. Not the greatest, but hey. That was hard work. And I got a few little chips in my beads, but that's the bottom and no one's going to see that, so I don't really care. Alright, so now you're going to trim this off. Whoops, I put the wrong pliers. You're going to trim this off about 1/4 of an inch because you just want to make a small loop, like so. And grab your round nose pliers and give it a turn inward. Like this. Oopsies, I didn't want to bend it. Like this. Oh, everything's just fucking up. Oops. Oopsies, I didn't mean to say that. I'm getting frustrated. How can you tell? Literally, I hate wire wrapping. Don't think I could make this loop any smaller. So just squish it over top of that. There. Voila, did it, finally. All right, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. I'm getting a bit angry. So as you can see, there's your bracelet. And look how easy it is to pull it off. So you don't want to lose your bracelet. So you take your bracelet, you measure it on the widest part of your hand here. So that would be here, right here on this opening. And that's how much chain you want to measure here. So you just take your piece of chain and measure from here to here roughly. And we're going to add chain in there now. So you're going to take your jump rings, your 2 pieces of chain. Mine are probably right, but I'm not 100% sure because I don't know if I made this the same size or not. Okay, and you're just going to open your jump ring, hook your chain on, hook it into the loop that you made on the end, one of them, and then just close up your jump ring. Nice and tight, like that. Grab your other jump ring, open it up, ooh, like so. And I kind of let it dangle to make sure my chain isn't twisted in any way, and grab it with the hook of the eye pin and like that, and then just close it up like that. Alright, so now you have your opening done. Do the other one. Wow, I can't believe those are broken. I may take it apart later. I don't want to wear a bracelet with broken pieces in it. Oh, this has eye pins on it, or jump rings on it, I forgot. Okay, and you're going to do the same on this side. So that'll kind of prevent this, if you make this little loop here too small, this here will prevent it from falling inside and your bracelet coming apart too. So that's why it's kind of nice to have these jump rings there. And let's open up this one, like so. Like that. And no twists. And oopsies. There. Close it up. Like so. That doesn't look quite closed tight enough. And I'm using a fine chain, so you want to make sure that that's close. So let's see if it fits. Oh, absolutely. All right. Well, this ain't one of my greatest tutorials. The other one, I didn't break beads. And this looks awful with the broken bead on the end. It just looks like a piece of it, sliver of it came off. So anyway, I would have to restring this whole thing to fix that because I had already cut that end. So when you're folding these over, be extremely careful. You do not squish the snot out of your beads like that. Memory wire is very strong and very tough. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and you have fun making it. It is a really pretty bracelet. And I will see you guys soon on the next video. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.